to include all kinds of things. But today we're going to be talking about a classic, the Maltese Falcon.
Ah, yes.
And there's a very specific reason we chose the Maltese Falcon. We've been involved in a number of programs this winter across Minnesota, and I believe it's actually across the nation, called The Big Read. And it's a program sponsored by a number of organizations, including the National Endowments for the Arts, that encourages libraries to choose a book from 16 that are suggested and have the community come together around that particular read. And a number of the libraries have chosen the Maltese Falcon. We did an event in Grand Rapids at a library there that was using it as a big read, and we also did one in Dubuque, Iowa that was using it for the big read. So we thought, well, shoot, maybe we should read the Maltese Falcon to know what the hullabaloo is all about.
And one of the things that I find really interesting is, even though we've done all these, we've never really talked to the people at these events that we've done about their reactions to the book. And we'll have to do that sometime, because I had a really interesting reaction. Well, we'll get to that, but I was
hadn't
surprised.
read it at the time, but now I would be more interested in that for sure.
Let's first, though, sort of set the historical context for the Maltese Falcon, because I think that's one of the reasons we think of it as an icon. And do you care to comment on that?
Oh, well, I don't know if I can remember. The Maltese Falcon, written by Dashiell Hammett, and it was written in probably 28, 29, because it came out in 1930. Depression, a lot of bad things going on. Dust Bowl, a lot of bad things going on historically in the country. And I think it reflects in that, to a degree, that kind of atmosphere in this country, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. And it was a darker kind of book than had been done before. And it really was very much the prototypical PI. So much of what we think of now as cliche in the genre was introduced in the Maltese Falcon. And it certainly wasn't cliche back then.
Even, I would say, I'd go even probably, he invented a lot of these phrases, a lot of this language.
Like, that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
That's right.
I noted a little bit of hesitation in your voice as you were talking about the fact that it's an iconic novel. What was your reaction to reading this great?
You know, I think that I thought you guys would both universally think it was a fabulous book, and that I would probably hate it. I loved it.
Did you really?
I did. I just ate it up. I thought it. I didn't care for the writing. I had read the Thin Man, and I knew he wasn't the wordsmith that, say, Raymond Chandler was, but boy, he had me. I mean, and the last scene, major scene, where they're all in that room, and you realize that Spade walks into this scene. A guy's got two guns, another guy's got a gun, he's got a woman hanging on him, and throughout that scene he plays every one of them to the point where he is completely in charge by the end of that scene. I thought that was a brilliant piece of writing.
In a sense, corrupted
every one of them. Yeah, he found, you know, I love that scene.
Absolutely.
You know, he walks into that room the only one who knows the whole truth of what's going on, because he walks into that room knowing that Bridget O'Shaughnessy killed his partner, and nobody else knows that.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. Well, I didn't like but I didn't like the book. I didn't like the writing. I thought as a protagonist, as a hero, Spade was a really nasty guy. I thought it was a nasty book in a lot of ways.
Well, I didn't find him a nasty guy. I found him very immoral, which is another trademark of the genre that he started. I found him a very intriguing character. And one of the things that's going on in this book is that you never have any, Dashiell Hammett never says, this is what Spade's feeling.
And
so you always have to interpret from whatever the action is, what's being felt.
And you know, it's rare to have a very external kind of book. Most of the writing that we read, I would say probably 80% of the books, if not more, are internal books, where you get into the mind of the main character, and you see him reacting a lot, but you never know what he's thinking. And it took me a while to notice that. And I thought, boy, it'd be fun to write a book like that, where you didn't have to mess with all of this, what is, and you just wrote What happened?
You know what I did after I read this book?
Yeah, I hope you're going to say you rented the movie.
I rented the movie.
Oh, okay.
Because that's quite different. And we've been talking about the book, and I think you ought to contrast that with the movie.
Well, I'm going to disagree because I thought the movie was very similar.
I did too.
I thought the characters rang very true to what the characters that Hammett had created.
You saw the 41 movie.
I saw the 41 movie, didn't
With
see the early
Bogart,
ones.
yeah.
But with the Bogart, it's almost iconic. It's as iconic in its way as the book is. And I think probably most people are more familiar with the movie than they are with Dashiell
absolutely.
Hammett's work.
Absolutely.
Probably.
Yeah.
And you like the ending in the book better.
I
like
thought
the ending in the
no,
movie
it isn't a question of liking one or the other better. I thought the movie the 41 movie, they deliberately looked at the world and said, we really can't end quite that blackly, quite that negatively. Because the book really ends with, there's nobody that you really want to hang on to and say, gee, I'd like to see that character again.
Well, and it ends with more deaths than the movie does because the fat man has been killed by Wilmer.
Right.
And one of the things I liked about the way the book ended is it ends with him having to deal with Iva.
Again,
Yeah,
right. But
again.
you know, to me, the filming, it was John Huston's first,
and screenplay.
first
yeah.
His first directorial.
right.
And he wrote the screenplay.
and the screenplay. Okay. You look at that last scene and you see Mary Astor's face as they close.
Yeah.
And
The
you
bars
see the
going
bars
across.
on her face. And then he says, I say, what is the Maltese Falcon? And he says, it's the stuff
Great last line.
of
For Hollywood.
dreams are made
Great
of.
last line.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, of course, it wasn't original.
Oh, really?
Yeah, how about that?
Is this
Prospero.
Shakespeare? Are we talking Shakespeare?
Is it Shakespeare?
Yes, it is.
Well,
Yes, it is.
It was a great use of
Your
that.
favorite mystery writer?
Yes.
My favorite mystery writer of all time.
Yeah.
Guess what? We've run out of time once again. We and our friends out there have wasted another perfectly good half hour as Click and Clap. I stole that line.
Yes,
also.
yeah.
We'll be back soon with more topics, different guests, I hope. Not that we didn't like the guests we had, but we've got lots more to talk about, lots more literature to cover. It's been great. I want to thank Ctv 15 once again for their things, and I want to let you know that if you have a suggestion about a book or a topic or anything like that you'd like us, email us. MinnesotaCrimeWave@yahoo.com, and always read more mysteries.